Good morning, SMP Nation. How are we doing this morning? Let me turn my volume down. Have to check, make sure you guys can hear me, but good morning. How are we doing? It is a big day over here for SMP. And I know I saw a couple comments that you guys were checking out the website. Our new website launched today, so you can go check it out. And I know Kyle and everyone over at the warehouse, they are getting everything, all of the little kinks ironed out. Everything is going good though, but that is all launched and ready for you to go check out. So you can go see that new website. But how exciting. I cannot wait. And we're excited. We're ready for it. And it's a good change. So I can't wait for you guys to see it. I know Kathy, I saw your comment. You checked it out this morning. So yeah, it's up and you guys can go see it. So very, very exciting. And I know that, everything should be working the same. So everything's just like normal. We are good. But yes, new website. How exciting. But aside from that, we've had a pretty good week. If you guys didn't know, yesterday we went live and I demoed the B700 embroidery machine from Bernina because we have a really, really great special on that right now. So if you want to go check that out, we were live yesterday, so it's back in our replays. You can go watch that, but super fun demo. I loved hanging out with you guys yesterday, and I will be live tomorrow at 10 a.m. demoing the V9 software that comes with that B700 for free. So we're going to talk all about some software tomorrow. So tune in, mark your calendars. We'll be right here on YouTube at 10 a.m. So yay, good stuff. Very excited. And also, you can catch me later today. I'll be on Whatnot. So if you guys haven't joined us there already, download Whatnot and you can be a part of the fun. And it's more of like an auction style. So we've been showing fabric over there and notions and just such fun stuff. So join us on Whatnot. I'll be there probably around 1 o'clock. We'll go live and do some stuff on there, but that has been so much fun. And I love my friends over there on Whatnot. And I know you guys would love it too. So that is super good, exciting stuff. But today we have a very exciting show. We have the one and only Miriam Coffey coming in to talk all about the Janome CM6. I'm very, very excited because this machine also, we have a really amazing special with it, as well as a really nice package that comes with this machine. So if you were looking to upgrade to a workhorse of a sewing machine, this one is going to be for you. I absolutely love the CM6. I actually use it a lot here in the retail store. I love that model and it works so well. And it actually sews through, I think we tested it out. We tested it out with the Skyline S6 and we tested it out with the CM6, and both could sew through 10 layers of denim. So whatever type of project you might have that involves 10 layers of denim, just know that the CM6 and the Skyline S6, a little shout out to that machine too, can do it. And I love these machines and they get the job done. So I cannot wait for Miriam to tell you more about that machine. But just letting you guys know real quick, we were talking about the website. Also, if you want to stay more connected with us here at SMP, we have our email list, so you can join our email list, and we have those getting sent out frequently, so that way you can be in the know of all of the current specials and promos that are going on here at SMP, and also get connected with us on our socials. So you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And we also have a Facebook group specifically for SMP Nation, and that has grown so much, and everybody shares their projects in there. It's a great place to ask questions, and if you need help on any type of technique you're working on, it's a great little group that we've started to stay connected with everyone. So join that as well. That's right on our Facebook page. But with all of that being said, I am so excited to get Miriam in here and talk about that CM6. So let me bring her on. Miriam, how are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you doing?
I am doing so good. It has been so long since we've had you on the show, and I just love this machine. And I was like, we got to get Miriam in here to talk all about it. Has there been any projects that you're working on? Have you been using that machine with anything specific that the SMP Nation might want to know about?
Yeah, so you were speaking of denim. I made this really adorable little whale zipper pouch.
Oh,
And it's so cute. I wish I had it with me to show you,
oh my
but
goodness.
work took it. So
Yes. Yes.
so yell at me for so actually I need to on my list of things to do like this next couple days is to make another one.
Yes.
But yeah, it's super cute. It's from a pattern company on Etsy. She's German, so the pattern
Oh.
like it comes in English and in German. But it's like it uses recycled denim,
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
just the cutest project. And all of her stuff is recycled denim, so I know it can work
Ooh.
through a lot of layers of denim because I just made a project with it. So
You're
yeah.
like, I know, I know, I love it. How exciting. Oh my gosh, I'll have to check out those patterns because I love working with recycled materials and especially denim. Like, I've taken so many of my old jeans and chopped them up and made them into different things. It's a great way to upcycle. It really is.
It is, yeah, and I've become a little obsessed about it. So I've only made the one so far, but I love thrifting, and I've thrifted like
Yes.
8 or 9 pairs of like denim, like different colored denim, some denim with
Yeah.
polka dots. It's been a real problem because I now have a lot of denim that I have to recycle
Yes,
or make whales
exactly.
out of.
Oh my goodness. Well, I cannot wait to see all the stuff that you make with all of that denim. That sounds so exciting. I cannot wait to hear more about this CM6. I know we were just talking about that project you were working on it. This is such a good machine and I had to show people all about it and I would love for you to tell us all about the amazing features of this and then I'll tell everyone how they can get it once you're done.
Of course. Well, first of all, thank you guys so much for having me again. It's been a minute since I've done one of these lives. So, good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me. So, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to be talking about the Janome Continental M6, which is this beautiful machine right here. It is part of the Continental series, which is a higher end line of sewing machines and in sewing and embroidery machines. This one is a sewing only machine. It doesn't do embroidery, but it does beautiful sewing. And it's a really nice heavy duty machine. Like we mentioned before, it can go through denim, can go through leather, it can go through all kinds of substrates, as well as thin fabrics. So that's really good to have a machine that's really versatile. And that's what the M6 is. So just some features about it. First of all, it's a 9mm machine, which means it has a maximum stitch width of 9mm. So for an example, say a zigzag stitch or any sort of decorative stitch, it can go up to 9mm with a 5mm maximum stitch length. So that means you can have a really nice long basting stitch, which can be really nice for removing stitches because, you know, if you're basting, you don't want to have to be unpicking really tiny stitches. So when you're basting, it's got a nice long 5mm stitch length. And it also is a really fast machine. So it sews up to 1,300 stitches per minute, which is really nice and fast. But don't worry, if you're not a speed demon, it has a speed bar, which I'll show you in a minute. And then it has a lot of accessories that it's going to come with. So it comes with around 34 accessories, which includes, you know, 1/4 inch feet to thread caps, all kinds of extra bobbins. It comes with a lot of different stuff, a whole baggie, which I'll show you. It also has a 7-inch color touchscreen right here in the center. So actually the machine fell asleep, so we're gonna wake her back up. So you just touch her and she is now the lights have popped back on and we have the screen back on. But it will probably fall back asleep and we'll wake it up again when it's time. So it also has, speaking of lights, it has 9 different LED lights in 4 different locations. And what makes these lights so special is you can also adjust them. So if you need them to dim down for whatever reason, or brighten them back up, you have that ability to do so. And that's in the settings in your machine. It comes with a lot of stitches, so it has 400 stitches to choose from, including the new Mirage stitches, which we will talk about, and we're actually stitch them out because the Mirage stitches are really cool. And I'll explain what those are later because they're one of those things that are easier to see than to explain. So it has the 400 built-in stitches, including 5 different alphabets, including a 9mm block letter. So you can do some really nice quilt labels that way or tags and stitch things out that way. You have a lot of workspace on this machine. So it has 13.7 inches from the right of the needle. So this whole area right here is 13.7 inches. So you have a really large workspace for quilting, for large garments. I've made some really big ball gowns and you're working with a lot of tulle or big layers, and having a large throat space is really beneficial for that. So even if you're not a quilter, the space can be really helpful for bigger projects or bags, you name it. Having a big workspace is priceless. It also has a large metal flatbed, which is 17.81 inches. And again, that's all metal. So that's the cool thing about this machine. So all Janome machines are made with metal frames, but not only is this metal inside, but it's metal on the outside too. So that makes it really helps with the heavy dutiness. So it's a really great work surface as well. It also has auto presser foot lift, which I'll show you when we move to the machine. Basically, that lifts, raises and lowers your presser foot, and it also has auto pivot, which I will show you in demo, because again, it's one of those things that makes more sense when you actually see it stitched out or seeing it in action. It has a top-loading bobbin with a clear plastic cover so you can see how much thread you have left, as well as a thread sensor that tells you when your thread runs out. There's no more playing bobbin chicken. It's going to tell you when you're running low, and it will recommend you change your bobbin and put a new bobbin in. It also has an independent bobbin winding motor up on top, so you can wind your bobbin without having to unthread your machine. You can just have another cone of thread in the back and thread that while you're sewing if you wanted to, and wind a second bobbin or as many bobbins as you need. It also has a one-touch needle plate removal, which is really awesome, and I'll show you that in action. Basically, all you have to do is press a button, and it's going to pop up your needle plate and allow you to clean your machine, change your stitch plate, because this does come with 2 stitch plates. And it comes with your zigzag, which is going to be on your machine, and then it has a straight stitch plate. And you'll use that for any time you're quilting, anytime you're working with thinner fabrics that have that tendency of sucking down into your machine. Small, tiny pieces that do that same stuff. Thin fabrics. There's all different types of reasons why you want to use a straight stitch plate. So we have that that comes with the machine as well. As well as the stitch plates that we have are patented. We have the markings are patented. They have all kinds of markings on them for 5/8, ½ inch, 1/4 inch, and it has different angles. And there are whole videos dedicated to just the stitch plates because there's a lot of information on them. So we don't really have time to go over all of it. But it's a great stitch plate. Again, that's a Janome exclusive. It's patented. So that's a really awesome feature to have. As well as there are 2 vertical thread stands on the back or spool pins, as well as a telescoping thread stand. And that can come down for easy travel or storage. It also comes with Stitch Composer, which is kind of gives you endless stitches because it allows you to it's a program that allows you to create your own stitches from scratch. So that way you have your own stitches that no one else will have. So that's a really cool feature because no one else is going to have the stitches that you have because you made them from scratch on Stitch Composer. There's also sewing applications, which is sort of like your manual built into the machine. It has, for an example, I don't know how to do a blind hem. And I don't know what stitch to use. I don't know what foot to use or what settings. It's going to have all of that information set for you. So you don't have to know. So it's going to say you need the G foot. It's going to show you the stitch that you want to use. It's going to ask you if you're on a stretched fabric or woven fabric, and the stitches change depending on the fabric that you're working on. But you don't have to know any of that. It has it programmed into your machine. So having that feature is really, really cool because you don't have to think. You don't have to remember stuff. It's going to be in your machine. So anything to make my life easier, I'm a big fan of, and Janome does that for me. It also has auto tension, but what makes auto tension so exciting that Janome does. So not only does it give you auto tension or auto press or foot pressure, it gives you the opportunity to overwrite it, which is really nice because not all companies give that. So a lot of companies, it's not a new thing to have auto tension, but to have the ability to overwrite it, that's really nice because there are times that you may need to overwrite it for whatever reason, and having that feature to be able to overwrite it is really nice. It's one of those things that you want to be able to make your machine work for you and not you work for your machine, or change your habits to like accommodate what the machine needs. You get to conform your machine to your needs, which is really, really nice. It also has snap-on feet. The majority of them are snap-on feet. There are a couple exceptions, like the ruler work foot is a screw-on foot. It has an ankle attached, but the majority of them are snap-on feet, which are really easy to change in and out. It also has 12 different buttonholes that are one step. So you don't have to do a 4-step. It's very easy to reproduce many buttonholes so that they're all even and the same, which is what you want in a buttonhole. There's also variable zigzag, which is a Janome exclusive. I'm going to pull out just a little stitch out of it. Basically what variable zigzag is, it allows you to change the width of your zigzag as you're sewing. So it can be done free motion or it can be done with your feed dogs. But this is an example of it. I'm going to pull that closer so you can see. So the little heartbeats, the like black stitching, that's all variable zigzag. So I wanted to create sort of like a heartbeat like stitch, and this allowed me to do that. And again, that's a Janome exclusive, so that's a really cool, especially if you're an art quilter, that is the variable zigzag you're going to just absolutely love. I've done some really cool landscape stitching with that, and it's a really cool feature to have. It also has Quilt Block Advisor, which has 6 different commonly used blocks that allow you to type in different sizes, and it does all the math for you. And in my opinion, anything that does the math for me, I'm a big fan of. And I know I'm not the only one that's not a math person. If you are, good for you. If you're not, the Quilt Advisor will be your best friend. And next we also have ruler work. So ruler work is super popular right now, and has been for a while. And this comes with a ruler work foot and a ruler work setting in your sewing applications. And what that does is it lowers your feed dogs for you, which is really nice. You don't have to lower them manually. You can lower them manually if you want to, but when you go into sewing applications and select free motion quilting or ruler work, it's going to lower those feed dogs for you. It also has the tapering function, which allows you to manipulate decorative stitches so that the beginning and the end of your decorative stitch can taper at different angles. So this can be a really cool way of, again, if you're an art quilter, to make flowers or starbursts or fireworks, snowflakes, really cool little decorative or pictorial things that you can do with the tapering functions, as well as making really pretty frames for quilt labels, which I've used the tapering function for, and it's a really cool additive. If you don't have an embroidery machine, it can add sort of like a border around your quilt label. It also has favorite stitch, which is really awesome because it saves your favorite stitch. So let's say, for an example, your 1/4 inch, your 1/4 inch foot, or your 1/4 inch stitch. Everyone sews your 1/4 inch a little bit different because some people push to the right, some people stay straight, some people push to the left. And having a 1/4 inch that you can manipulate where you want your needle to be, your stitch length, I can save that in my favorite stitch, and it's always going to be there. I can always overwrite it or go back to the default, but it allows me to save the stitch that I like, and I can do that to basically any of the stitches. So if you have a applique stitch that you like a zigzag stitch, and you want it set at a particular setting all the time, it will be that. It will do that for you with favorite stitch. And then it also has resume mode, which allows you to, when you turn off your machine, so say you did a zigzag, for an example, and you turned off your machine, turned it back on, and it's going to ask you if you want to resume your last stitch. And if you say yes, it's going to go back to your zigzag or whatever decorative stitch or whatever stitch, or even in sewing applications, any place in the machine that you're at, it's going to go back to that setting. So it's always going to know where you're at. If you hit no, then it's going to go back to your utilities basic stitches. And then it also, last but not least, it has an upper thread sensor. So not only does it have a sensor for your bobbin, it has an upper thread sensor if a thread breaks. Let's say we're doing some free motion quilting and it breaks, and you don't have to, it's going to do a little sensor. It will beep at you and tell you that your thread broke. So then you can repair your thread and go from there. Let's go over some of these standard accessories. So first of all, it has a semi-hard dust cover that says Janome at the front, embroidered, and it's really nice and pretty heavy duty. It's not a hard case, but it's a semi-hard, flexible case cover for it. And then, like I mentioned, we have a whole lot of goodies. So we have about 34 accessories that it's going to come with, a lot of different feet, extra bobbins, all kinds of stuff like that. And if you have another 9mm machine, it will fit on these as well. So that's the really cool thing about this is, say if you have another machine, because this is actually AccuFeed capable. It doesn't come with your AccuFeed foot, but you can get one. So if you had an AccuFeed foot from another machine, it would fit on this machine, and so you wouldn't have to purchase that separately. It's also going to have your power cord, which is pretty standard and pretty necessary. And then your foot pedal. So it's going to come with a standard foot pedal. It is also capable of handling the large foot pedals if you have that from a different machine, or if you want to purchase that separately. You guys can do that, and that will give you the larger foot pedal so it doesn't move around quite as much. And then I'd mentioned the straight stitch plate that it comes with. And then we have our instruction book or a manual. This is going to have all of your information in it. If you did end up losing this for whatever reason, or if you like a digital copy, on our website, we have a digital copy of all of our manuals for all of our machines, even our old machines. So now that we've kind of gone over the things that it comes with, let's move this out of the way. and I'm going to show you how to do the Mirage stitches. This is a really cool feature. So let's wake up the machine, and I'm going to turn around a little bit just so that I can sew this. But to get to your decorative stitches, there's a couple ways you can do that. So you can do that up through your decorative stitch icon, and it's going to show you all the categories. Let's see if I can move you guys a little closer. There you go. See if that's a little closer. And so these are all of your icons here. And then you can also select all of your decorative stitches up through that icon. You can scroll through them and they show all of the stitches that are in your heirloom, your quilting, and then you can select any of those stitches and just touch it, and then it's going to go straight to that. And this is a really cute satin stitch. When you stitch it out, it looks like rickrack. Which I actually have a kind of like a Rick Rack shirt on today. So you can see I like Rick Rack a lot. And then let's go back to our decorative stitch icon. And we're going to scroll down to 11 because that's where our Mirage stitches are. And that's what I want to show you. So I'm going to select the first Mirage stitch, which is the circle Mirage stitch. And there are two ways of doing your Mirage stitches. You can do them with stabilizer, where it looks like they're kind of floating, or you can do them with a construction or like creating a seam. And then that is between two different fabrics. And then you can see the join, it's like the joining stitch. So let's do the traditional way first, which is when it's sort of floating. So for that, we're going to need a piece of tearaway stabilizer and a piece of fabric. So I'm going to take my stabilizer underneath my foot, and I'm going to fold my fabric in half, right sides together. So I'm going to place my fabric under my foot as well as my stabilizer I need some stabilizer on the right side of my fold, because I'm going to be stitching on, so this I would actually traditionally be using an F foot, but I just have the A foot on, which is fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to be stitching on the stabilizer and not the straight stitches. Let me clarify that. You're going to stitch on the stabilizer for the straight stitches, and for the satin stitch, you're going to go on the fold of the fabric and the stabilizer. So I'm going to stitch this out. Last stitch, and then let's cut our threads. So here, so this is my fabric, this is my stabilizer, and this is my decorative stitch. And the straight stitches are on the stabilizer, and the satin stitch goes between both of them. And then now, when I open this up, you're just going to see the little dots pop up. And you're not going to see the stitchings that connect them together. So it's just going to look like they're sort of floating in the fabric. So that's one way of doing it. The second way of doing it is with a construction. So I have two pieces of fabric here. They are the same pieces. I should have actually grabbed a contrasting fabric. But I'm going to just sew the seam. I'm going to use the edge of the foot, and I'm just going to sew the seam like I would any other seam. Except I'm just using the edge of the foot here. It's going to be a little bit bigger than a 1/4 inch. It's going to be like 3/8 of an inch. And just like that, we have our seam sewn up. And then same thing here, you open this up and you can see the stitches pop out of kind of nowhere. See that? Let's get that centered. There we go. And I think that is a really cool function to have, or stitch to have, because not only can you use that to join two pieces of fabric together, or to add a decorative stitch in the middle of a fabric, you can also attach your bindings that way, and it looks really cool. And I have done whole videos on that if you are interested, but that is a really cool decorative stitch to have. And then I also told you that I was going to point out the auto pivot, but then I think we're almost done with time, but I'm going to show you auto pivot, what that does. So we're just going to go back to utilities and select my auto pivot function, which is this first button. When it turns yellow, it means it's activated. So what that does is, this is really good for curve piecing, for chain piecing, for quilting, for kind of you name it. The auto pivot is kind of one of those features that is kind of really beneficial for a lot of different sewing. Basically, anytime you need your needle to stay in place, but then move your fabric around. So what this does is, as I'm sewing, I'm going to stop, but you heard my foot come up. So now my fabric is in place, but now I can pivot it to applique another shape. So if I was appliquing a square, I could applique that square or rectangle. And now I can cut my threads. And then I did a little square or a little rectangle. But as you can see, let me pull you back a little bit. As you can see, you can do some really cool shapes with this. It's fantastic for curve piecing. You have to do a lot less adjustments that way, because you don't have to raise and lower your foot. You don't have to use your knee lift. It's just automatically turns it on to stop with your foot up, and then you can pivot. It's really, really awesome. So I think that is pretty much, well, not everything. There's still more we could talk about, but I think we're done with time. So Kennedy, I think I am done. If there's any questions anyone has.
No, you did a great job. Everybody in the comments, let me pull it up here. They all loved all the features that you showed. And that binding, a lot of people, a comment I'm reading here, would love to see the binding with that stitch. And I agree. I think it would look so good with those stitches that you showed. I just love it.
I do have samples of that. Unfortunately, I don't have them right in front of me. I'm going to QuiltCon next week, and I got ahead of stuff myself, and I already packed up for QuiltCon, because I'm trying to I have a lot of stuff to get done. So I'm get my studio, get all my samples packed up. So yes. I already have them packed up. And then I was just I should have had that sample, but I do have a video, I believe, on YouTube and or Facebook on that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so you guys can check that out. She's got a video on those stitches that you can go watch. And yeah, I'm curious too. I'm going to have to go look and see what that's all about, because I agree. Whoever made that comment, I'll have to go back and look. But yes, good comment. Well, Miriam, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us today. You did an amazing demo on that CM6. I just love that machine. It's so good. Like you were talking about at the beginning with the denim, it works for so many different materials and projects. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. And the bundle that you get with it, it's so good to help you get started.
Yeah. It is it's a great machine. You get a lot of, with most Janome, or pretty much all Janomes, you get a lot of bang for your buck, but this one you have a really good solid machine that just you can grow with, or if you're more of an beginner or intermediate sewer, you can grow with it. If you're an advanced sewer, you're going to love it because it has so many features. So it's a really fantastic machine. And I hope you guys enjoyed it because I love showing Janomes.
Yes, I love this machine. Well, Miriam, I'm going to tell everyone how they can get in. Everyone in the comments is agreeing about Janome and just the great machines that they make. So I'm going to tell everyone how they can get it. But thank you again. Good luck at QuiltCon. I hope you have so much fun. I'll have to be on the lookout for pictures and videos because I always love seeing all the stuff going on. The cons and conventions and all that. I love it.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me, and I will hopefully see you guys soon on the next video.
Yes, thank you so much, Miriam. All right, you guys. Well, let me pull up this. Let me tell you how you can get this Janome Continental M6. I adore this machine, and there it is for you. So if you have any questions at all, you can give us a call at 1-800-401-8151, and our sewing specialists on the phone and on the chat on our website are so ready to help answer any of your questions. And with this machine, you do get the free bonus package that is valued at $520. Amazing deal here, and all of those accessories that you get included. It is such a great time to get this CM6. It is a great, great machine. And like Miriam is saying, Janome is all about quality, and you get so many, even aside from the bonus package that you get, right when you take this machine out of the box, you get so many accessories inside that machine box and just everything that you could possibly need, plus more to get started with your sewing. So that is super exciting. And also, just to kind of highlight all of Janome's machines right now, they are running some amazing specials and promos on their machines right now with amazing bonus packages. So be sure to check those out. If you have any questions at all, or you just want to look into some more Janome machines, give us a call, 1-800-401-8151, and we are happy to help you out. But all right, you guys, well, I have some giveaways for you. So let me get my music going here. And I always sew through an insane amount of denim. We did 10 layers, but I'm sure it could probably do more. It sewed through it real easy. That's my favorite thing to mention about the CM6. It is such a good machine for sewing through those tough fabrics and even quilting too. So super helpful, but let's get started on some giveaways. So our first one we are going to do is our gift card. So we are going to be giving away a $25 gift certificate to our website, SewingMachinesPlus.com. So if you do win this today, all we need from you is just your email. We're going to email you a gift card code. But let me take this off real quick and spin the wheel and see who's going to win. Ooh, someone asked about the quilt pattern behind me. I will find out. Our amazing teacher, Michelle, made this quilt. I will ask her what pattern she used for this. Brenda, you are taking home a $25 gift card to SMP. So if you'd like to claim that prize, head to SMPlive.tv, fill out that information in the form, and the most important thing we need is just your email, and we'll get that sent out to you. And that will take $25 off your order to SMP. So how exciting. Congrats, Brenda. All right, and now our next little prize today, we've got our world famous sew mats, and we have these in all different sizes and colors, and we've got a couple different patterns available as well. So if you win this one today, you will just pick out the size and the color that you want, and we will get that shipped right out to you. So let me spin this wheel and see who is gonna win a sew mat today. And Sandy, it's going to you. So if you'd like to claim that prize, head to SMPlive.tv, fill out that information in the form, and we will get that sew mat shipped right out to you. And just let us know what size and what color you want, and we will get that all sent out to you. Thank you so much for watching. But yay, we got everybody It does that every time. I never come back up on there. But we got somebody a little gift card and a sew mat. So yay, very excited. And that's a perfect excuse to go check out our new website and go see all of the fun stuff that we got on there. So super exciting. But what a great show today. A huge thank you to Miriam and Janome for coming on and talking all about the CM6 today. What a fantastic machine. I just love it. But I'm going to go ahead and head out of here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Catch us live. We'll be here tomorrow at 10 a.m. demoing that V9 software. I'm also going to find out about this quilt pattern. Our amazing teacher, Michelle, made this, and it's using all Tula Pink fabric, and it just looks gorgeous. I love it. So I will find out that for you, but we'll be live back again tomorrow. And then in just a couple hours, I will be live on Whatnot, so you can catch us there. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Go check out our new website, and we will see you soon. All right, you guys, see you later. Bye.